Here we go.
Lights.
We've got Yo's in Sector 3 apparently, because as my game's glitching.
And
Away we go. Looks to be a decent start from Pampernick. Vantas getting away cleanly as well. That's the Williams of Bika in between the two tracing points. And does he get third? He's squeezed onto the grass. But seems to have made through okay. A bit of front wing flying off there. Who was that?
I have no idea, but
looks like a bit of a tussle on the midfield.
It was a bit bumpy.
I believe that was Raisin City. No, not Raisin Cheese. Might have been Falsetti in trouble. He's running wide and currently struggling. He's down 18th. We've got Yellows in Sector 1. That's Bika gone. There's the big one. Bika in the wall. McLaren following him of Elias, but not taking enough damage to go out. And that was Verstappen getting a penalty, 5 seconds for a severe collision. Elias also getting a collision with Falsetti there. Don't know whether that was as a chain reaction, but that was a big hit for Bika down into turn 3. Safety car been deployed. It's a bit of a shame we can't get replays on that, but Bika has gone already. I'll check the Discord on my phone here just to see if we get any comment from Bika.
Yeah, I didn't see what happened. Yeah, he had to walk.
I didn't because unfortunately...
Pampernick has left the session, it says. What's happening here?
It says he's playing F1 2020 now, so it's under the safety car. He should be okay.
Bika left, yeah, that's...
Vanitas's game crashed. He's left the session as well, apparently.
Pampernick has joined now.
Oh no, that was 10 minutes ago, never mind. Matthew between both laps. Matthew's saying, let's get this over with. Although Matthew's currently in the points, so he's doing okay. So, just looking at there's the safety car ready to pick up Pampernick. We're getting a predicted pit strategy. Who's in the pits at the minute? Marky Mark, Vexit, Vexit, Silex, Matthew, Elias and Rassen are all in the pits, looking to go onto the hard compound tyres.
So
be doubtul if those could. So they're all planning to go to the end if they're changing to the hards. Bit of an ask, it must be said. But just looking at the order, Pampernick and Vantas stay in the same position. Mitso has lost out to his teammate. Chrissy is now P3.
But I also think some of the guys in front have some damage, because I saw some wings flying, some parts.
I'll try to get a look-see. Top 3 look okay. Top 4 seem okay. 5, 6 and 7. Possibly Val Destroyer? Fangeshaw Val Destroyer? No, he's okay. Mr. Nathan is fine from the looks of it. Ixana's okay. Bottas gang. Trying to get a look in on Bottas gang, who's up to P9 now. He appears to be okay. I think if anyone's taking damage, they've probably pitted already. Yeah, because there's Marky Mark. He was one of the pitters, and he's caught up. Vexit's on his way there. Matthew also pitted, so he's in 16. Vexit has gone on to the softs.
That's an aggressive strategy.
And it's interesting because I believe he had pitted. It's hard to see how he couldn't have pitted, and
now he must have.
That close. Has Pampernick rejoined the session? There's nothing in the chat saying that he's struggling to get back in.
Yeah, but he joined for the second time now. So I don't think his connection is okay or something.
That or it's the net code. Let me just have a look, try and get details of who has pitted. Stops. So yes, everyone from Silex down has all made one stop. Which means Vexit did go for an aggressive strategy onto the soft tyres, so he will have to stop again. It's a bit of an odd call, I must be honest. Let's look for the biggest winner out of the early scuffles is Nixana, who's gone up 11 places to 8th. Biggest loser is tied between Vexit and Matthew, both down 7 places. Well, I mean, technically, if you want the biggest loser, it's going to be Bika, who is unfortunately out of this race, having started a very impressive 5th. Disappointment for the Williams team. One driver out, one stuck in 15th, because of course there will be the constructors to look for. Safety car in this lap. So, lights are out on the top of the safety car. It will pull away. Oh, I saw a bit of front wing fly off there. That's
it's from a Force India.
Yeah,
Racing Point, sorry.
We call them Force Indias.
Yeah.
And Vanitas gets a penalty.
Vanitas gets a penalty for
a collision with Chrissy. So, presumably the game thought it brake tested him.
On the other hand, he just drove into the back of him, and Vanitas got the penalty. You have that so often.
Which would be very
They go
silly.
very slow.
And now Vanitas gets 5 seconds for collision with Pampernick. What?
What?
It didn't look like there was any contact there.
I didn't see it, but what I did see was Chrissy was going into the pit, and before we went into the pit...
And at the back. Oh my goodness. Matthew and Marky into the wall. And Vex sits out as well.
Okay, I'm going to focus on the start. Pampernick is running away.
On the pit straight, that's a lot of damage. Vex sits out. Chrissy's gone into the pits to replace the front wing. We'll have to check with race control. I get the feeling Vanitas will be disputing those penalties because I saw nothing on my end to warrant even one of those penalties. Matthew gets 5 seconds for corner cutting.
Well, I hope they all record
and Matthew's
their
gone.
game.
Matthew's DNF'd. We got DNF.
That's quick.
He's put it into the wall.
Oh, it's on the back
just
of the
off of turn 2.
Okay.
So that's, my goodness, they're dropping the fly. So Matthew, both Williams are out. And the Red Bull with Matthew J. We've got yellows in sector 1 for that, but no safety car. So Vanitas with a move possibly on Pampernick. Goes one way, then the other. Good defensive work by Pampernick, but running wide.
Oh, second
Vanitas
chance.
to one side. Oh, holds it around the outside. Impressive.
Looks like Vanitas had a lot of overspeed.
More yellows in sector 3. What's this for? Mark is just going slowly. He's without a front wing though, which is understandable. Chrissy now trying to play catch up. As Mito sets the fastest lap of the race. Got Elias into the pits from 11th. Did he take damage? Must have done, or else this is going to be a very odd strategy. Let's see.
He's changing his wing.
Yes, the mechanics do have, and he has the penalty as well. The
yes.
mechanics are having to wait for 5 seconds.
But also Terror and Falsetti are in the pit right now. Also Terror on the wing. Marky Mark joined the pit.
Marky Mark was missing his front wing. Falsetti getting a new front wing as well. Pardon me.
Okay, back to the leader.
Yep.
They all drive with a distance with an interval of half a second, so the complete top 5 is in DRS range. I guess it takes 2 more laps before it gets
yes, it should be. I think after not this lap, but the next one, DRS should be active.
Lap
so
7.
Pampernick trying his best to get out of range of Vanitas in DRS range. Now, as we say, Vanitas has been given penalties, but there is a system because we know how awful the penalty system can be in this game. As Pampernick sets the fastest lap of the race, if Vanitas does dispute those penalties and gets them removed successfully, that 10-second total penalty will be removed. Just watching them all as they come through turn 1 and 2, we've seen a lot of mistakes there early on. They all seem to be making it through this time. Top 3 as they were at the minute. Pampernick, Vanitas and Mitso. Jay currently in 4th, and Mr. Nathan 5th, Val Destroyer in 6th, Bottas 7th, Verstappen up to 8th, and Silex 9th, and Rasen Chai with the final point in 10th.
Well, that's a great debut for Jay and for Nathan. It's the first race.
Yeah, so far, we've got a long way to go. We've already seen plenty of mistakes so far.
Yeah, anything could happen.
Not a particularly happy day for the Haas drivers. Gunther Steiner will be calling them a bunch of wankers. We've got Falsetti down in 15th, 4 seconds of the drift of terror, and Marky Mark 15 behind his teammate.
Okay, big lock up by Pampernick.
Oh, looking at the intervals, it's still 8/10 it says, but it should be coming down.
Aye.
And it is slowly coming down. Pampernick sets another fastest lap, even with the lockup. DRS should be active on this lap.
It doesn't show yet.
Nope, but no, Vanitas does have his DRS open. I just saw it there. So DRS is active.
Okay, then it's just a couple of laps till we get another battle.
Hopefully so. Just looking at the gaps on the track.
It's pulling away. It's close to a second now.
Closest on track at the minute is Bottas gang chasing down Val Destroyer for 6th place. The gap about half a second and closing. Although Bottas with a slight mistake there, he's falling back slightly. Verstappen is also catching the Silex as well in the battle for 8th. Not quite within striking distance yet, and has there been a slight mistake in Vantas because the gap is now more than a second. Pampernick's achieved his goal, he's out of DRS range.
Yes.
Jay certainly keeping Mitso honest,
He
the defending
just
champion.
used a lot of ERS, I see, Pampernick last lap.
Verstappen with a 3-second time penalty there, again, can be disputed if they provide evidence for it, or against it rather. Silex now catching up to Bottas gang. I assume he made a mistake.
Penalty as well.
Venice with another 3-second time penalty. He's getting a bit sloppy as Pampernick gets another fastest lap. Silex making the move and easily passing Bottas gang. That was on the straight, that was DRS, so Silex up to 7th. McLaren. And Verstappen.
Just having a look at Verstappen now.
Yep, having a look at Bottas gang.
Tail of Bottas gang. But also Bottas gang has DRS.
Verstappen will too, though.
Yeah, but if the car in front of you also has DRS, it's not that easy to overtake. But maybe they can make it a double.
Oh well, yes, on a track like China with a longer straight, you could make use of a double slipstream, but on the more twisty, almost street circuits such as Melbourne, you get far more benefit from being out of a car's dirty air rather than trying to chase it for slipstream.
Thank you, Vexit, for following.
Vexit for following, nice. Speaking of following, Mitso half a second now behind Vantas.
Oh, well.
At least on track. As Mr. Nathan is in, the pit window is open. Mr. Nathan, the first of the scheduled pit stops. Into the Alfa Romeo pit box. No penalty, so goes straight to the hard tyre, and that's a very nice move. Have they found a gap? Yes, they have. A nice little gap there for Mr. Nathan. Comes out in 11th place. Closes the gap on the track. Nixana and Raisin having a battle. Rasen on the hard compound tyre, the slower tyre, so Nixana crawling all over the Ferrari. Nothing doing at the minute. Silex, meanwhile, continues his crusade. He's now right on the tail of Val Destroyer, half a second. Less than that. Val Destroyer dropping back from the top 4 by quite a significant amount.
And also up front, Vanitas is within 3/10 now.
Nixana with
and he's going to the pits.
Yeah, Vanitas in the pits. Jay following him in as well. Who else is going to come in?
So Vanitas is trying for the undercut.
Falsetti gets 3 seconds. And Vantas dropping down the order, as you'd expect. Vantas had his penalties to serve as well, so he's had to stay in the pit box.
Ooh. That's not gonna be an undercut then.
Now, to be fair, if his penalty is removed, we still can work with that, because what we can do is we can take 10 seconds off his racing finish time. which could potentially move him up places after the race. But
well, he didn't stop 10 seconds now. It only was 5. You can only take 1 penalty at a time in the pit.
Wow.
So that means there's still some time left.
Yes, he's coming under pressure from Mr. Nathan at the minute, who's already pitted. Pampernik still leads by 8/10. His old rival meets behind him, Silex, battling Valdestroyer in battle for third. It's not net third, because obviously the pit stops have yet to play out, but Valdestroyer being something of a bottleneck here for Silex. I know Valdestroyer just doesn't seem happy
on the outside. Silex on the outside.
Oh, that's a brave move around there. He's gone a bit wide, but he's very good, Silex. He made it stick. That was an impressive show. Now, can he set off after Pampernik and Mitsu? Pampernik is in the pits. No penalty, so he gets straight onto a set of mediums. They can technically do a one-stop on the mediums. And more people seem to be going to the hard, so Mitsu carries on. Now we shall truly see if the undercut works. Question is, will Pampernik be on clean track? Verstappen has gone by him.
There's a Renault
Jay coming along
but
the
he
pit
can't make it.
So that's a nice bit of clear track for Pampernik. That was a nice little gap to feed back into.
Yeah, now we got two drivers between him and his opponent. So that's good for him.
Mito's pace, just looking at it, he's still going yellow in every sector, so he doesn't have the pace he once had. I feel that Mito will have to respond to try and at least make damage limitation on the undercut. I doubt he'll be able to make an overcut work. He just doesn't seem to have the life left in the tires after 11 laps.
No, I think they're done.
Meanwhile, Silex is actually... Well, the gap is increasing, albeit slowly.
Silex still on his soft tires?
Nope, Silex on the medium. And that... Oh no, that's Bottas in the wall.
Oh my god. That's a wing rule.
A mistake we've seen so many times, running wide over the exit of the chicane, and just the car will bottom out and you'll lose it. And Bottas down to 7th, potentially 8th if the Ferrari catches him. Nope, 7th as Vantas makes his fight back. Trying to get past the Ferrari of Razin. And does so.
Easy.
Bit wide on the exit. And Mr. Nate, opportunistic. Barges his way past. We've got Yellows in Sector 1. Who's gone? Oh, that's a lot of carbon fiber. Who's that?
That was McLaren. It was Silex.
What happened to him? He's still on the track, but oh dear. In both end plates, he may as well have no front wing. Disaster for Silex, who was doing so well, and I think he's just overcooked it and put it in the wall. He'll have to come in for pits. For a pit stop, and disaster for the McLaren team. Pampernik, meanwhile, says thank you very much. Mito still hasn't pitted yet. The overall gap... I'll just find the overall gap for you all here. No,
it's like 19-20 seconds to Pampernik.
I can change the vote, that's okay. Gap to leader, it's 19 seconds, and pit stop here is what? About 21?
Yeah, maybe.
We'll find out. Mito pitting this lap.
Pitting now.
So we shall see.
Going for medium.
Valdestroyer also pitting. Pampernik's coming around the final corner now. Mito's been released. Pampernik along the back straight with DRS to Verstappen. Mito reaching the line, but nope.
No.
The undercut has worked. Well, it wasn't really an undercut, the defensive undercut, I suppose. And Mito actually straight under pressure from Jay. Jay right behind him. And Pampernik has gained a little bit of a lead.
He has got... He
has
to pass Ben.
I'm just checking. No, Verstappen is yet to stop, so...
he's holding him up.
Yep, Pampernik really needs to get past here. Even though Verstappen may not be racing to the end with Pampernik, this is for track position. He has no obligation to move over.
Okay,
breaks early. Breaks early, lets Pampernik go there. He knows that's not his battle. But the gap now over 2 seconds between Mito and Pampernik, so the early pit stop has actually helped Pampernik break out of DRS range. And that could be crucial. Meantime, Silex with a 3-second time penalty, as is Razin. It's all settling down a little bit here. Mitso catching Verstappen, but of course we know that Verstappen hasn't pitted. Interesting tactic from Val Destroyer in 10th. He pitted the same time as Mitso, but he's gone on to the soft compound tyre. So presumably we'll be doing another stop.
I don't think it's going to help him.
Yeah, it's the only driver who's gone for that strategy.
Okay, Mitso is at the back of Verstappen now. Needs to find his way around. He doesn't make it easy.
Doesn't have to, he's under no obligation to. This is for the
that's close. It's like bump drafting.
It's very close. This is hurting me, so the gap 3.2 between Mitso and Pampernick now.
Okay,
around the outside
now.
King. That's a brave move.
Yeah, that's it. Verstappen lifts.
Doesn't have the
and
grip and
gets
tires.
attacked by his teammates.
I think that's a bit of team play, letting his teammate by. He knows that his teammate's on the faster tyre, well, pressure tyres rather. So Verstappen knows it's not worth holding up the teammate. There is the constructors to think about. And Vanitas, currently in 5th.
Rossetti, another 3 seconds time penalty.
You can tell they're all a bit rusty. They're not used to all these.
I think you can say that the track limits are very strict this year.
A lot of people have been saying that, but the track limits do seem to be
I noticed
strict
it as well at the time trial.
Well, time trial's always been very strict, but they do seem to have brought the gap between the time trial. Oh, we got yellows in sector 1.
Okay, what's happening? Trying to find it.
It's Mr. Nathan has overcooked it slightly. Doesn't seem to have any damage, but was pulling away slowly there. So he's back down to 8th place. Closest gap on track at the minute, Chrissy, who is catching the somewhat wounded Mr. Nathan.
Should be no problem for him. His ERS is full. And Nathan's is just under half.
Although, not close enough yet. Maybe waiting for the DRS though? Maybe somewhat tactical play in the DRS. Gap coming down, but not enough. Mr. Nathan, even though he had a lockup there, he's defending well. Managing the ERS, managing the energy pretty well. Van meanwhile is gaining on Verstappen. He needs to get past him because Verstappen still hasn't pitted 15 laps now on those medium compound tyres.
Oh, they will last at least 5 laps longer, I think.
Now, he hasn't stopped yet, so you would have to say that presumably his strategy is now to go onto the softs and try and get a bit of speed at the end. Whereas everyone else started on the softs and seems to be going to the harder compound tyre. An interesting mirror of the strategy. We'll see if it pays off. But Vanitas through and up to 4th.
Okay, looking at the top, Pampernick is now 2.8 seconds loose to Mitso. And he has a gap almost 3 seconds to Jay. Followed by Vanitas, another 3 seconds, so...
More yellows in sector 1. Falsetti facing the wrong way. And again, it's that just on the exit of turn 2. I don't know why they just keep all spinning up there. And Falsetti's struggling.
It's just a traction problem, I think, out of turn 2.
Well, he's called it quits, he's retired.
Yeah, he's retiring.
Pulls the car over. And as his miserable weekend continues. One car out, the other car only in 14th.
Gunther Steiner won't be happy. That's
Gunther
for sure.
Steiner's never happy. It doesn't cause a safety car, thank goodness.
No, he's parking on a safe spot.
But unfortunately, well, to be fair though, that's the AI that does that. So
Yeah, you
it's
better.
it's always a bit risky retiring out on the circuit.
You should have retired in the pit.
Yeah, if the AI decides to retire in a silly place, it can force a safety car. Meanwhile, Mr. Nathan and Raisin are having another ding-dong, with Bottas gang being caught by both of them.
Oh.
Raisin forced wide, and this is a great battle.
Also, Chrissy behind them.
Yep, Chrissy playing catch-up. Chrissy is on the hards as well, weaving this way and that way, trying to find get past Raisin. Bottas falling back into the clutches on 16-lap-old mediums. Those tyres are dying. Chrissy with the move. Gets past Raisin. For some reason, Mr. Nathan is teleported back to 9th. I'm assuming that was lag on my end. And coming up 3 into 1 corner doesn't go, lads. Sort yourselves out. And they do. Chrissy up to 7th, Raisin 8th, and Mr. Nathan down in 9th now. What to say, it's been impressive showing from pretty much all the new boys this time. Poor Vexit though and Matthew didn't get much of a chance to show what they could do out on lap 1 and 2 respectively. As Bottas gang finally pits. I'm not sure what good the strategy will actually do him. And now he's putting the hards on.
That's weird. I should have gone for the softs.
Well, it's doubtful. It's possible the softs wouldn't make it to the end, but to go.
Well, I saw other people make it to 10 laps, and they had the qualifying laps with them.
Possibly, yeah. So
I think
strange.
it's now 11, 12 laps for softs. It should be no problem.
It's a very strange call then, because if you're going to go to the hards, you may as well pit early before you lose all the pace.
Or he does not have any left.
That is also a possibility. The gap out front, 3 seconds from Van Pernik to Mitso. As Vanitas claws his way back at J, trying to reclaim that podium, assuming the penalties don't stand.
Well, I see Van Pernik has race number 44 in his car, so I think he...
Oh, sorry, 1 wee sec, because Mr. Nathan and Raisin are at it again.
Okay.
And Mr. Nathan has got back past Raisin on fresher rubber. Sorry, you were saying?
I was saying Van Pernik is just feeling like Hamilton, I think. He also uses his 44 race number, so...
Verstappen finally pits. Now will he go? He's got a penalty as well. That's going to hurt. Is he going on to the softs?
No hards.
No, the hards as well. So, very unusual strategy. If the hards are going to last, why put them on this late in the day? They've been, both of those cars were struggling with grip for the past several laps, and it cost them positions. And it's cost Verstappen the points. He's currently in 11th. Bottas gang only in 10th. Val Destroyer, meanwhile, be interesting to see how his softs last. Nick Sadna has done the right strategy. He's put on the softs with 10 to go. Val Destroyer, meanwhile, will have 16-lap-old softs by the end of this. Considering that's when most were pitting to get rid of the mediums, it'll be very
Nick
interesting.
Sadna is pitting now.
Yes, it'll be very interesting to see what state Val Destroyer's tyres are in at the end.
Right.
Elias and Marky Mark. And Elias does get past, but unfortunately it's only for 13th place, not where he wanted to be.
I think the finish will be quite interesting with all those penalties.
Well,
shake the field up really well.
It'll not be interesting for me and Devil. We've got to go through them all as the stewards and work out which ones stand and which ones don't. And I have a feeling we'll have a lot to get through.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Yes, it's all turning into a bit of strategy now. The gaps are all starting to spread out a bit. Granted, it took 20 out of the 29 laps, so we can hardly complain.
Well, for the moment, the closest gap is Mr. Nathan to Chrissy, 1.7.
Just having a quick look at the race director here. Who currently holds the fastest lap? View lap times. I believe it's me. No, that's a personal best. Doesn't tell you who's got the fastest lap time. Wonderful. I believe it's still Pam Pernick with the fastest lap time. But anywho, we'll see after the race. Shoutouts to Jay in third place. Vanitas has not been able to close that gap. They're on the same rubber, obviously equal cars, so Vanitas has not been able to close the gap to the new boy Jay, which is very impressive. And Jay looking on course for a podium.
Yeah, I told you some of the new guys were fast.
Not over yet, of course, but as Marky Mark pits,
Niksana has the fastest lap now.
Unfortunately, that won't get him the extra point because he's not in the top 10. Remember, you have to be in the top 10 to get the extra point for fastest lap.
Yeah,
it's currently in 14th.
I don't think the other drivers in the top 10 are going to improve that time, so it's just 1 point in the waste bin.
Yes, if this was like real F1 with Hamilton and all, Pampernick would have the space to pit and try for fastest lap, but at present the gap is only 3 seconds. Certainly not enough for a pit stop.
So another penalty for Vanitas.
He's struggling with the penalties, struggling with track limits. I don't know how many of these he can defend, and he better be recording, because if he hasn't been recording, then that means he can't show evidence, and if he can't show evidence, the penalties all stand, and he will drop right down the order. And he's only 11 seconds to Chrissy behind, and he's potentially got at least 10 seconds already, if not more. Mr. Nathan's made a fine recovery, up to 6th. In the Alfa Romeo. And actually slowly making inroads on Chrissy. Only 1.6 seconds behind the Force India, we'll call it a Force India. And that is poor Marky Mark being lapped. The only runner to be lapped so far. Maybe Marky Mark is trying to go for fastest lap. Won't get him a point, but he'll at least have something to walk away from. Because aside from that, it's been a bit of a disaster of a weekend for him.
Okay, and Val Destroyer pitted now. Back on the softs again.
He could potentially compete for
5 seconds
for
behind.
Lap.
He could have the fastest lap.
And if he gets past Verstappen, that would also count. And then he would walk away with 2 points.
I think that's going to happen. He's.
Well, we shall keep an eye on Val Destroyer. He's just started.
He should be able to catch him.
Lap. He's just started now. He doesn't even have to go more than a second a lap at this rate. So let's have a look. Oh, a bit of a lock up into turn 3 there. He is faster in Sector 1 by about half a second. Now, presumably that's compared to his personal best rather than the overall fastest time. So we'll have to wait until the end of the lap to see.
Well, he got a second and a half of his time yet. In just 1 or 2 laps. 1 lap.
Yes, massively easing into Verstappen's tentative hold on the final points paying position.
Yeah, I think he got some heat in the tires now, so he could catch him. It's getting really fast now.
I was going to say, I have no doubt he'll catch and pass him. It's whether he can take the fastest lap with it is the question.
Yes.
Gap at the front, 2.8, which is reduced slightly, but not enough. And Valdesroy around the final corner. Is it enough for fastest lap? It is. So he holds fastest lap, and now all he has to do is get past Verstappen, and that extra point belongs to him.
Just over 2 seconds now.
And 5 laps to go. He'll catch him pretty easily, I should think. Speaking of catching, Niksana also chasing down Elias on the softs. And Terrorworm.
We have a battle here.
Elias right under the rear wing of Terrorworm. Vantas with another 3-second time penalty.
Well, that makes it like 50 now.
He'll have to start the next race from back here. He'll start the next round back in Australia. At this rate. Nice wee 3-way battle here, albeit it's just for pride rather than points. Niksana making the move, and easily dispatches of Elias, and Elias into the wall. And out.
Out of
Safety
race.
car as well. Oh,
that's
now,
interesting.
That's a problem for Valdesroy. Yes, it will bunch them all up, but it really means he has lost about 2 laps worth of racing to get past Verstappen. But Vantas has a drive-through.
Speeding under the safety car.
Apparently. Disaster for Vanitas.
Well, I guess he's just not used to this game anymore. He had a 1 year off.
You can't dispute that. You know, the game measures the speed that you're doing and the delta. So that's an open and shut case.
Okay, we have some guys pitting.
Did he get another one? He is going very fast. It just popped up again. I'm wondering if he's racing with the UI off and he's trying to rely on just his steering wheel.
I have no idea.
Oh, Bottas Gang is out.
Bottas Gang out? What happened?
Not too sure, he's just...
Niksana has a penalty for a collision with Bottas Gang.
Oh, it's all going a bit crazy. I think Bottas Gang maybe just pulled over. Vantas, well, it's not exactly been a stellar return for the Season 1 champion. He's going on round. I believe, though, he has to take it. Unlike real life, where you could maybe carry on and try and fight it out with the stewards, you can't really... You have a 3-lap limit, as Chrissy gets a drive-through penalty for speeding under the safety car. And that was because... Oh, Chrissy, no! That was silly. He tried rushing in to get into the pits. You know, he sped up thinking, I've just got to go to...
He ruined his race with that.
Yeah, because that was classified as pit stop. He now actually has to go into the pits again. And with the field all bunched up, he will drop like a stone.
Well,
but that was silly because what he did was...
He kept his place.
Yeah, but he still has the drive.
Sarek passed him.
No, but that was silly because what he did was he sped up to try and get into the pits as quickly as possible, but he was still technically on the racetrack and therefore sped under the safety car. Bit of a silly, impatient move from the new boy there.
When I think back, he did the same thing on the first safety car. I saw him passing the field to go to the pit entrance.
Yep. Well, he got away with it that time. The steward's obviously not happy with it this time. But Vanitas, what a story he's going to have. And he has a drive-through. There's no debating that. At least one, possibly 2.
No, I don't think
if he doesn't realize that if he doesn't realize that, he could be looking at a black flag, which would put him out of the points. Meanwhile, the hard work...
I don't think he's going to get points when he has a drive-through and all the field is bunched up again after the safety car.
What will be interesting, of course, is what can Mitsu do here? He's on slightly fresher rubber. The field will bunch up, and I would say we'll probably get maybe, 2 laps of racing? So this is maybe a lifeline for Mitsu, a chance to snatch the win. But Van Pernik has shown good pace all evening.
Okay.
And of course, it will take longer as well because we have to let the lap cars through. That's Terrorworm, who I know it looks like he's in 5th or in 3rd, but he's 11th, so he will start and catch up to the field. It is entirely possible that we will have the safety car leading over the finish line because we only have 3 laps to go. Maybe get one lap of racing in which case will be a mad dash to the finish. Terrorworm apparently on 26-lap-old softs, according to my telemetry.
No, that's not possible.
I would agree with you, but just going off what the telemetry says. Maybe it's an old set that he used in quali, so it totals the laps as well. Or no, it must be a mistake.
Must be a glitch.
No, Codemasters. Half the field is pitted this lap as well, and they're all on. Everyone from P6 down is on the soft compound tyre. And of course the field. Oh, if the safety car does come in, this is going to be a toasty little finish. Because a lot of the field are on fresh rubber and impatiently looking to go. Safety car in this lap as well, so we'll get 2 laps of racing. Pampernick, Mitso, Jay, Vanitas and Silex on old, medium and hard tyres. Chrissy and everyone else down on new, fresh softs. Hold on to your butts. It's going to get spicy. Pampernick warming the tyres up. Weaving this way and that way. So, hang on, so they're not letting the lap cars through because Terrorworm...
No, there's still cars in front. Renault and Williams.
Oh, haven't reached the safety car line yet. Mitso.
Okay,
And Pampernick bolted perfectly there. Mitso responding. They're underway again. We've got a car.
Silex is going.
Oh no, Silex. Didn't lose a front wing, but just obviously not enough heat in the tyres. Back at the front, Pampernick has got away safely. Another 3 seconds for Vanitas as the Ferrari moves out of the way. Jay under pressure from... Wait, hang on, that's a Red Bull unlapping itself. Oh, this is a bit chaotic. That will be the Red Bull of Nixana unlapping himself. Which he's entitled to do, and Nixana on very fresh rubber. But he has to pull away or else he'll get the blue flags and get some penalties for his troubles. Now Nixana's chasing after Mitso.
Blue flags are waved.
Blue flags are being waved. Oh. Chrissy gets 3 seconds. And Vanitas under pressure from Mr. Nathan. Mr. Nathan past Vanitas. The boys on the softs are coming through. Chrissy's up to 4th and Nathan up to 5th. Vanitas dropping like a stone on 18-lap-old hards. Will Jay follow the same fate? Yellows in Sector 3.
It's terrible, I guess.
Must be.
He fell behind.
And
there's 28 old lap softs.
Yeah,
that's
must still be a glitch, surely. The Haas diving, Marky Mark diving out of the way as Mr. Nathan putting pressure on Chrissy. This is for 4th. Oh, it's all gone completely bonkers at the end here. And Mr. Nathan and Chrissy side by side. Mr. Nathan hanging in there. Has the inside line for turn 3. Silas with 3 seconds. Oh, the squeeze!
Just a little contact.
Wheel-to-wheel racing. This is great stuff. Mr. Nathan looks like he's made it through. He has. P4 for Mr. Nathan. Now, last lap. I doubt he'll catch Mr. J for 3rd, but wouldn't it be a story if he did? He's already impressed me with P4, though. Mitso's out of the RS range. If Jay makes a mistake if anyone makes a mistake in the chicane here, it'll be chaos. Chrissy's not having taken that line down though, having another run at Mr. Nathan. Nothing doing there. Everyone through the chicane safely, it looks like. At least the top points finishers are. And I doubt Mr. Nathan will be able to catch. Jay is having a last minute look. But the Red Bull is in the way. Will Chrissy try a last minute lunge into the final corner? Doesn't look like it. And round the final corner. He was 3rd in Season 1. He was 2nd in Season 2. Can he go one better this year?
Okay, Mitso wins.
Wait, what?
Nathan 2nd. Jay 3rd. Pampernick 4th.
Excuse me?
You must have got some penalties, mate.
I never saw a penalty for Pampernick.
No, I didn't see it also. Oh my god, I wasn't expecting that.
I thought Mitso had penalties as well, didn't he? As Verstappen gets driver of the day somehow.
Okay, that was a weird finish. So we got Mitso on top, Nathan second, and Jay on P3.
Well, now that's subject to whether the penalties stand.
Well, I guess the stewards have a lot of work to do.
Vanta saying this game is disgusting. My letters got bugged and I couldn't see any info. Also, I got a penalty following Pampernick on the first safety because he was leaving and joining with nonsense. Decent gang, yeah. Pampernick saying he won, right?
Well, I don't know. I don't know what happened.
Pampernick has no penalties.
I'm checking the race director now.
Yeah, Pampernick didn't have a penalty.
Let's take a look.
Hold on. Yes, can confirm.
Bottas gang has a penalty. Bottas gang again. Bottas gang, Bottas gang. Pampernick got a warning.
Yeah, can confirm. Pampernick has no penalties.
Oh, what I wanted.
But he sort of teleported back, didn't he?
I have no idea.
I suppose that's what they're on about with a desync gang. Must have been a desync.
Well, I checked the complete list and Pampernick did not have a penalty.
I will go back and on the stream and clip it because we definitely saw Pampernick leading every single lap and coming across the line in first, and then he just teleported back.
Yes.
And we thought he had a penalty, but race director confirms there are no penalties.
Well, in that case, he has to...
In that case, he would be declared the winner. He did nothing wrong.
He must keep his first place then.
He must. I'm sorry to Mitso, but... Oh, Codemasters.
Okay. Just another chaotic race. But...
Yeah, I mean, it was good
fun. A lot
of
action, good fun, yes indeed. And we're gonna sort things out regarding the results.
Yeah, so just to any drivers watching the stream, remember that the rules for this year, you have 24 hours to submit evidence for any penalties you want to dispute. They go into the incidents channel. You need to post video evidence along with the drivers involved, a description of it, and the video footage is your evidence. You have 24 hours to post, after which we will consult through all the incidents and post the decisions in the information tab. But for now, yeah, that's going to be a lot to deal with. That is the end of the first race of COR Season 3, and certainly an exciting race it was. Drama throughout, everyone seems pretty quick on the track, so this should be a pretty good season.
Well, I'm really looking forward to the rest of the season. Okay,
Indeed.
I think that's it for tonight. I think we're gonna end this stream.
Yep, as far as I know, our next race is next week, same time, same place.
Yes.
Anthony will still be streaming 7 p.m. UK time.
You're racing Bahrain.
Bahrain.
Okay, have a good night.
Good night all.